So the only name that I could come up for this one was Private Geodesy instead of Private Guy. Is that how you pronounce that? Geodesy? I don't really.
Geodesy.
Geodesy. I know it's a scientific
The Y is
study.
silent. The Y is silent.
It's just
Geodesy.
Geodesy.
I'm pretty sure. I have no idea what that word means, actually.
So I was gonna call this Private Geodesy dash Musician Showcase Volume 1, and of course I spelled showcase with the number 5 instead of an S.
5howcase. You can say it like that.
5howcase. These 5 hoes in music.
Casing them up, y'all.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 14.5, the Musician Showcase episode, Volume 1. This is a special episode in which we will be featuring 5 musicians and bands and their music. If you are a musician and you'd like your music to be featured in a future episode like this, feel free to submit it to us. I will tell you how to do that at the end of the episode. So you're probably wondering, hey, we didn't get a playlist for this episode. And that's because...
Well, fuck you, we say.
Fuck you, listeners. You can just imagine it based off of how we describe it. And we're going to do it shittily on purpose.
Come on, you know us. Yeah. That's our style.
Fuck you. No, we are actually going to play the songs for you to listen to while you enjoy the episode. Because we're those nice of guys.
Yeah, this has never been done before in the history of radio. Or podcasting,
or
what we're doing
or
here
television
tonight.
Broadcasting. Yep. No one has ever played music for an audience in recorded format.
So buckle up. All right, it's gonna be a quantum leap. You might be attracted to a different sex when this is done. Who knows what could happen?
Because fuck you. All right, so let's go to our first song, which is Scimitar by Private Guy. Private Guy is an American house techno DJ producer based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Due to the fact that he just lists himself as Private Guy on his SoundCloud and on his website, and that he doesn't put his real name down, I guess I didn't talk to him, so I'm just going to refer to him as Private Guy.
No, I'll confess it's me.
It's Dommy
me.
Jugs.
I'll confess it's
DJ Dommy Jugs.
This is DJ Jugs. No, it's not me.
So Private Guy is a fellow that I met in college at the University of Minnesota, Duluth. As well as being a house producer, he's also an extremely talented artist. He's a very good ceramicist and a photographer. He actually, I believe, I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, I believe he's like a ceramicist for a living. And then he makes music on the side.
Nice.
Well, not really on the side. So I guess segue into that. Him and 3 of his friends started a vinyl-only house techno label based in Minneapolis.
Wow.
Called Kajunga. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I believe it's Kajunga Records. It's him, Private Guy, a guy named Burnt, Cloudy, and Royote. Sorry, I probably just butchered all of those. So far, Kajunga has one release, Kajunga 1, which contains one track by each of the artists on this label. It's $10, and as you might have guessed, it exists only on vinyl. You can stream it on Kajunga's SoundCloud website. And Private Guy told me that if you're into this and you're into their first release, Kajunga 2 will be released very soon.
Nice.
And he actually just released a second track on his personal SoundCloud, so it's probably sooner than you'd think. Private Guy describes his music sensibilities as such. Cascading from a void of darkness and low frequencies, Private Guy lives in perfect harmony with sultry dub chords and uplifting soulful spaces, purveyor of all things deep. So, I believe this track is considered a deep house track. I don't know a ton about house music.
Yeah.
I know that this label is dedicated to house music, and on Private Guy's SoundCloud, the first tag of this song is #deep, So I'm going to assume it's deep house.
Deep house.
So
Is that a genre name you've seen before?
it is.
Yeah, deep house.
So
Nice,
for
nice,
anybody
nice.
who's not familiar, house music is a genre of electronic dance music that originated in Chicago in the early 1980s. And it was-
Chicago, really?
yeah, I didn't know that either
Wow.
because I know it's very famous in France.
Yeah, wow.
So it's characterized by repetitive 4/4 beats, rhythms mainly provided by drum machines, offbeat hi-hat cymbals, and synthesized bass lines. Many different forms have evolved from this early house music, but they all share that same foundation. Now, deep house is a subgenre of house music that also originated in the 1980s, initially infusing elements of Chicago house with 1980s jazz funk and touches of soul music.
Oh.
Yeah, so deep house is known for a complex melody, use of unrelated chromatic chords underlying most sequences, and kind of an ambient lounge vibe to it,
right on.
which this song all seems to exemplify.
And wait, if I could ask,
Yeah.
because I don't know, but is it specifically geared toward being able to dance to it, or not necessarily?
I don't know about deep house. I
Okay,
know house
yeah.
music in general, due to
Yeah.
the repetitive nature,
Yeah.
is for dance.
Yeah, you can dance. So it's not a ton of like crazy jarring tempo
Yeah.
changes. You can actually dance.
It's very
to
repetitive.
It.
Now,
Yeah.
also, as someone who's not that familiar with it, simply based off the description and listening to this song, I think this is more chill out music.
Yeah.
Like, you could dance to it, I feel, but this,
Yeah.
the words sultry and lounge really pop out. Like, I could see
Yeah.
someone like in like a swanky dark martini bar just kind of like sipping on a cocktail and
Yeah.
talking while this is playing in the background.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Definitely.
So his description for this song is just, it's a sword and a deer. Which there's album art for this, which I'll post, which it says Scimitar, and there's these two kind of goat deer looking things with these giant horns. So by saying it's a sword and a deer, a scimitar is a curved sword that was widespread used throughout the Middle East from at least the Ottoman period, with early examples dating back to the Abbasid era, which was 9th century, and it's Croatian.
Abbasid.
Abbasid.
I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Well, you know better than me, probably.
I have no idea.
But a scimitar is also a species of oryx that is now extinct in the wild, but once inhabited all of North Africa.
Huh.
And its name comes from the similarity between its horns and the sword of the same name.
What? I didn't read that in the Bible. No. Keep your fiction to yourself.
If Jesus didn't say it, and if anyone's
That's
curious,
fast. I had no idea.
yeah,
I had
and
no
an
idea.
oryx is actually a type of antelope.
Oh, okay,
So sorry,
okay.
private guy, it's not a deer; it's an antelope.
We'll cut him some slack. That's pretty niche biology right there.
Yeah. All right, so here's your guys' first song, Scimitar by Private Guy. All right. So that was Scimitar by Private Guy. Dominic, what did you think of this track?
I dug the song. Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about house or deep house, so I gotta preface it with this is kind of out of my wheelhouse. But I like electronic music in general, and I thought this was like, it was well crafted. There was definitely, and I mean, again, a good attention to detail. It kind of started out small, builds up, strips down, comes back, and it's kind of, I mean, that's what I assume kind of it's all about. But it maintains that kind of 4/4 danceability.
Yeah.
But like you had said in the intro, it has that kind of organ synth chill vibe, which I liked. I like that. So yeah, it was a good song.
Yeah, this song was chill as fuck.
Yeah,
it's like the best way I can put it. Like I really dig it. It's very sultry and dark, but it's also very like warm at the same time.
Yeah,
it's chill, downbeat, down tempo electronic music can sometimes have a very icy and cold feeling to it.
Yeah,
this was like very warm, and maybe this is a bad word, but like analog. Like it felt organic in some ways for being an electronic track, and definitely had a 1980s pop culture vibe. Like I can see palm trees and pink and teal neon signs and kind of that retro future aesthetic that's going on these days. I'm not saying this is vaporwave, but it kind of has that imagery associated.
No doubt. And I like the in the background there were voices that at near the end it almost sounded like they were kind of screaming, which I dug. I mean, I dug that kind of little touch in the back, adding a kind of layer to it.
It kind of like, for as much as like I can envision hanging out in like a dark swank martini bar, the voices like even brought that image more into my head.
Exactly.
I felt like this song could kind of just go on forever. And I wouldn't be upset about it.
Right.
Like if it was just constantly just.
It's got kind of a cool ambiance about it. Yeah.
No, I dug it. I don't mean this insultingly, but I don't have a lot to say about it just because it's really chill. It's very well crafted. It's very inviting, but it's also very minimal, so there's not a whole lot to like dissect.
No, I mean, it's a solid. I mean, it's got the bass, the kind of wood, almost kind of like a wood kind of. I don't know what I don't have the vocabulary for this music, but almost kind of like the percussion at times is almost just like the sticks. That's what we called it in elementary school. We called it the sticks. I'm sure there's a better name, but and the cymbal and then the keyboard and the organ synth, and you get the voices in the back. So it builds nicely. I listen to a lot more of like, and I don't mean this in like a pretentious way. I just mean my own biography is I listen to more like almost non-listenable experimental music.
Arca.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I've been listening to since you introduced it to me. So if the genre is kind of house, deep house, there has to be that, I assume, that kind of rhythmic, static quality to it that keeps it as a constant, which I can appreciate. So knowing that there's that kind of constraint to the genre, I thought he did a very good job of kind of adding palette around it.
And I like textures to it.
I dug it. And like you said, it could have been 20 minutes long. It just kept going. It just kept going. Chill song.
So if you guys enjoyed the track, you can check out Private Guy on his SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/privateguy. And if you're curious in checking out his record label and the other artists, it's Kajunga, KAJUNGARE CORDS, Kajunga Records, and that's kajungarecords.com or soundcloud.com/Kajunga. Any other thoughts or?
No, solid. All right. Solid track.
Let's move on to our second track then, which is The Can't See by the Misanthropes. The Misanthropes are a jazz experimental rock band from Anoka, Minnesota. The band members are actually all friends of mine from high school. You got Nick Henry on vocals and keyboard, Eric Johnston, who's on guitar, except on this song his vocals are featured.
Okay.
And I don't know if further along. They're planning on Eric doing more vocals, but to my knowledge, as of right now, from all the demos and tracks they've posted online, every song features Nick's voice except for this one. You got Shelly Henry on bass and Jeff Henry, her husband, on drums. And actually, Nick and Jeff are brothers. So
wow, keep it in the family.
You got 3
man.
Henrys and then Eric.
Can they just adopt Eric and just?
Or maybe Eric and Nick can get married someday.
Yeah, there
I
you
don't
go,
know.
man.
Nudge.
Family
nudge.
band. That's
Yeah.
a serious demographic.
Yeah, like
family
the
band.
Partridge Family.
Exactly. The Jackson 5? Come on.
Oh,
Can they just change
wait,
their last name?
who are the Jackson 5?
I don't know. Some bullshit band.
The Brady
Not important.
Bunch?
Yeah.
They're kind of a band. So, for anyone who's not familiar, a misanthrope is a person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society.
Harsh.
So, you're really harsh in our vibe.
Yeah. That's me, man.
Misanthropes.
That's me.
A misanthrope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Self-identified.
I've never seen Dominic. He does this remotely from a bunker that's at least 60 feet underground, I'm pretty sure.
Because fuck people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck people.
Have
fuck
you
the
ever met
listeners.
someone you liked? Ever? Name one. That's
No,
what I thought.
I mean, I don't like you at all, even.
yeah, well, fuck you,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the misanthropes, I don't know, their mission statement, I guess, is a good way to put it, is, quote, "Our primary goal is to remain unpredictable, taking influences from a wide variety of artists, including Modest Mouse, Fat Swaller, the Dresden Dolls, and Foxy Shazam. Ours is a sound that could be described as theatrical and bipolar." And little interesting trivia, they used to be called the Afterthoughts, but they are now the Misanthropes. And the Afterthoughts was all one word, all lowercase.
Okay.
So the Afterthoughts.
You gotta say that.
Can't have a space in there.
Yeah. No pause.
And sorry, Eric, I couldn't help but bring this up. Going back to our last episode where we talked about a Celtic punk song. Eric used to be in a Celtic punk band called Flaming Seamus back when we were all in high school together.
I forgive you.
No,
I forgive you, man.
he
No hard feelings.
We
None.
talked about it.
None.
He said that he didn't like. He thought every point you brought up came from like a fair stance. Like he's like, you know, he wasn't. I didn't disagree with anything he said. While I might not personally believe it.
Yeah. Well, then I'm sure. Again, hey, I was a little harsh last week. I've taken a chill pill, took up yoga, feng shui. That's where I listen to Wings a lot more. Okay, I'll admit.
Wings, real. No one can center Dominic like Paul McCartney.
Like Paul McCartney Wings. Usually,
Specifically post Beatles Paul McCartney.
yeah, exactly. Specifically, actually, exclusively, I'd like to say. Post because Beatles, fuck the Beatles. But no, I'll say, I'm sure that each Celtic punk band should be evaluated on their own terms. I'm willing to go say that. So I'm sure that the band.
And I will say.
Whereas last week I was a little harsh.
First of all, there was a very nice camaraderie with Flaming Seamus. They would like. There was a Dunn Brothers that was privately owned in Anoka where we grew up. Technically,
yeah.
It was in Ramsey, and I would say at least every 2 weeks they would play a show there, and all of our friends would go there. So it was just it was just this thing we did, and it was just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And they were more of a traditional Celtic punk band, like a lot more traditional folk songs and traditional instrumentation.
Yeah.
Though, yeah, it was pretty good. I thought.
Nice.
Flaming Seamus.
Nice.
That's what I don't know if I said that. That was their band name, Flaming Seamus.
I like that.
And speaking of other bands of these people might have been, and not that it ever became anything, but there was a period of time where Nick and I almost started a drone metal band together.
Nice.
Because I think I brought this up on the podcast before. There's a band called Sun, which is
Yeah,
spelled
yeah.
S-U-N-N, and then there's an O with a bunch of parentheses, but it's just pronounced Sun. Nick and I went and saw them live at the Varsity Theater in Minneapolis. And we were
Yeah.
like, oh, that's so fucking brutal. And we got together a couple times and talked about trying to start. Nothing ever happened. But
Not yet. Still time.
I guess there's
man.
still time,
Still
Nick,
time.
if you're listening. All right. Well, I guess without further ado, here is The Can't See by the Misanthropes.
I can't see what's in front of me, the right or the wrong way to go. I can't see what's in front of me, the right or the wrong way to go. I can't see what's in front of me, the right or the wrong way to go. Which dream am I supposed to be? The lie or the one I was told? Which dream am I supposed to be? The lie or the one I was told? Which dream am I supposed to be? The lie or the one I was? A space cadet to Mars, the owner of a pizza truck, a prior turn of bars, a woman with incredible luck. But 5 nights now had said that the dream was dead. Your dreams are always what you want them to be. Your dreams are always what you want them to be. Your dreams are always what you want them to be. I can't see what's in front of me, the right or the wrong way to go. I can't see what's in front of me, the right or the wrong way to go. I can't see what's in front of me, the right or the wrong way to go. Which dream am I supposed to be? The lie or the one I was told? Which dream am I supposed to be? The lie or the one I was told? Which dream am I supposed to be? The lie or the one I was told? An agent of the lawless hand, proprietors of the land, to space cadet to Mars, proprietors of bars. With 5 nights now had said that the dream was dead. Their shapes will always be what you want them to be. Their shapes will always be what you want them to be. Their shapes will always be what you want them to be. I have fled on foot from the wrath of time. Touch the future of the biomechanical police. I have seen the light of welding knife.
All right, that was The Can't See by the Misanthropes. What did you think?
I like this song a lot. Honestly, I like this song a lot. I thought it was, I was kind of getting a Bowie vibe a little bit with the vocals, especially. And then he says the word space cadet.
And-
Earlier on, I was like, nice.
Yeah, the space
Nice,
cadet to
nice.
Mars, and like right when he says that, there's kind of that really kind of like retro futury synth
Yeah.
noise, like
Yeah.
kind of theremin-esque
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's an influence, but if it is, I dig it. I dig it. And it was not, I don't know, it was kind of like a, again, the vocals I really liked a lot. I thought the vocals kind of have the vibe of almost kind of like the drunk stumbling around, existential angst kind of vibe, which I liked.
That's exactly what I wrote down. Like, this song seems to be about someone going through like an existential crisis.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with their lives and which version of themselves they should be. And then, you know, he sings the line like the purveyor of bars. Like, that makes sense to kind of drunkenly stumbling around and saying, "Who the fuck am I?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's a nice matchup of the lyrics and the sound, because I thought the sound also kind of gave that feeling of kind of stumbling about and wondering. I thought that was a nice matchup.
Yeah, because there is kind of like there's definitely different sections of the song, like in how it sounds as it goes through it.
Yeah.
And I listened to this line probably 12 times in a row, trying to make out what it says. It's right around the 3-minute and 22-second mark.
I think I wrote that down too.
I think I even had Natty listen to this. I think he yells, "I have touched the future of the biomechanical penis."
Yeah,
that's exactly what I heard.
It's a nice line, man. That's a nice.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if Eric wrote a line like that. I'm curious what it means, and the only word that I was unsure of is future. I'm pretty sure about all the other words, but the word future was the one I had to kept trying to like.
I just wrote down biomechanical penis.
Biomechanical
That's all I
penis.
cared about. I like that. I'm gonna use that this Friday at the bar. Say, "Yo, biomechanical
penis."
No,
just like
man.
that's like your new catchphrase. "Hey, bro, biomechanical penis."
BP. No, it was nice. I gotta say, okay, the outro is very, very, very different than the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of its own.
It kind of has like a
entity in and of itself.
Like a. I don't have a good way to describe this. Like a classic piano rock feel to it.
Yeah.
Like I wish I had like a better example, because like the I'd say the first 2/3 of the song almost have kind of like a doo-woppy feeling to it, like a hard rock doo-wop, but it kind of has like that bluesy doo-woppy swagger to it.
Yeah. It does have that kind of swagger.
And then at the very end, after he says, "I have fled on foot from the wrath of time," which is a line I like a lot.
Yeah.
And then it's like jam, and I gotta say, Nick, those are some sweet piano keys you're tickling. Those ivories are being tickled to the fuck. Just like
I like that. Right before that happened, if I was hearing it right, there was like right before that outro, there were like kind of some dissonant keys played. Did you hear that? Where like it's like the wrong notes played on purpose, and I like that a lot. And I almost felt like the outro. I almost thought it could have been its own song. Like that could have been its own like 2-minute awesome song. Where in this song, I almost wanted those dissonant keys to like pop up a few more times. It's like a motif in the song, because I thought that's a nice compliment to like the kind of the vocals and the lyrics that were going on. So I liked it all. I thought it could almost be like 2 songs, but maybe.
Well, if you like a bit more of that dissonant feel, a little more of like the purposefully wrongfully played notes, a little more of the jam feel to it.
Yeah.
This is actually a nice condensed song.
Yeah.
I won't say all of their songs, but they have some songs that are definitely more like jam songs. Like they have, I'll post a video for one. Someone took a video of them playing this song live. It's called Book of the Dead Bop.
Yeah.
I think it's usually clocks in around 8 or 9 minutes. It might be even longer than that.
Wow.
But it definitely has that kind of like purposefully sloppy yet precise piano feel to it.
Yeah.
Nick is an incredible pianist.
Nice.
Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's been playing since before he could walk.
Nice.
So yeah.
No, yeah, I can tell, man.
But no,
I dug it.
Great song.
Yeah.
I dig it. If you sorry, do you have anything else you want to?
I thought I liked the vocals when it came time to yell. I kind of felt like he was holding back a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the vocals so much, I could tell. Like, I want him to really dig into it.
Come on, Eric, just fucking
For real, because
scream.
I like the vocals, and I thought I wanted more. I wanted even more. So yeah, I dug it. Again, I like the sound. I like the lyrics, the sound of the vocals mixed with the music. I thought it was a nice kind of working together.
Yeah, and I don't know. I really feel like he got across this idea of existential angst.
Yeah,
Like, as I don't mean to, like, it's not pretentious either. It's literally just like, which dream am I supposed to be? Which way's the right way and the wrong way? Am I the space cadet to Mars, or am I just the pizza truck owner? Like, I don't know. I feel like it was relatable, but it's also shrouded in enough mystery where it's not just like, it's not too accessible. It's the right amount of accessible and mysterious at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you guys dug the Misanthropes and want to hear more of them, you can check out their SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/misanthropesmusic, or check them out and like them on Facebook, facebook.com/misanthropesmusic. And with that, we can move on to our third song, Capsized by The Keep, off of the 2015 EP, Quarter of a Century. So, The Keep were a 5-piece alt-rock / post-punk band from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And when I say were,
Shit.
unfortunately...
Is it something we said? Come on.
It's, yeah. Oh, man, that would suck. Because I talked to Grant, and he was like, let me check with my bandmates. And then they said it was cool. And then, what if I started it all?
Shit, dude.
So,
that's probably it.
Sadly, between the time that I contacted this band and the time that we're actually recording this episode...
Wait, for real? Whoa, wow.
They have broken up.
Oh.
It was probably about a month
Jared.
ago. It was about a month ago that I
Yo,
talked
Jared,
to them.
maybe it was you. No offense.
Fuck Shuffle.
Dude.
No,
That's the life of the Huffle.
So, earlier this month, via their Facebook page, the band posted a status saying they were no longer a band, saying, "Hey everyone, sad news. The Keep is no more. We had a lot of aspirations for a follow-up to our Quarter of a Century EP, but ultimately our creative differences brought us to a place where there was no united front. We found ourselves pulling in different directions with how we wanted to sound instead of moving forward as a complete unit. I think we're all going to try to stay friends, and I'm sure we'll move on to new projects separately after some time. But in the meantime, we can reflect on the good times we had. Thank you for your support and coming out to our shows."
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, wish him the best. Shit.
Yeah. Good luck, The Keep.
Shit.
So while they were still a band, they described themselves as from all over the Midwest, they united as one to play catchy hooks, aggressive riffs, and grooving rhythms. They are The Keep, a 5-part post-punk indie rock band that incorporates elements of doom and stoner rock. Songs are catchy but also heavy, and the energy is palpable. Yeah. And I guess if anyone's curious, a keep is a type of fortified tower built within castles during the Middle Ages by European nobility.
I did not know that.
You didn't?
I had no idea. I didn't know.
Come on.
I thought this was like the keep, like the verb. Keep.
Well,
these guys keep. You give something to them, they keep it.
Wrong. Well, actually, I don't know if that's... I'm assuming that's what they meant, but I guess that could be.
These are the kind of differences.
We'll
that
never
maybe
know now.
Broke up the band.
Let's break up the podcast. I'm
Hey,
going to fight you on what the keep means. I quit.
If only they were alive now, we could just ask them. Shit.
So, the way that I happened to come across The Keep was one of their guitarists, Grant Ertl. I actually have never said your last name out loud. E-R-T-L.
Ertl.
Ertl. Sorry, Grant. I've known you for a while, and I've never said your last name out loud.
Is this like an Urkel thing? There's Urkel, but there's Urkel.
Grant Urkel.
Ertel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Family Matters
Not
reference.
Not even.
Yeah.
So I met Grant through my old roommate Chris, who's actually going to be the next musician we talk about.
Shit.
After this song, they grew up together. Yeah, so as well as being a talented musician, Grant is also a talented artist, graphic designer, director, film editor, and videographer. He actually owns and runs his own media label called Aquanaut Media.
Wow.
Which I will post a link to. So yeah, here for your listening pleasure is Capsized by The Keep.
I've been sleeping for days and days. Let those waves rock me away. I've been sleeping for days and days. Far from my hood and far away. Signal flare lights up the sky. Guess it's a good day to die. Fly out on the foreign sea. Ice scrapes the sky in front of me. Capsized, we're all gonna drown. Still nobody is gonna make a sound. Yeah, we're capsized, we're all gonna drown. Making peace, we're all going capsized. We're all gonna drown. Kings and queens and those with the crowns. Yeah, we're capsized, we're all gonna drown. Making peace, we're all going down. Band plays on, the band never stops. There's no light bulb, nobody's getting off. Women and children, beyond, beyond. Water rises and fills their lawns. Into the blue, gray, into the black. Don't you fret, there's no turning back. Artifacts from another time, for another people left to find. Capsized, we're all gonna drown. Still nobody is gonna make a sound. Yeah, we're capsized, we're all gonna drown. Making peace, we're all going capsized. We're all gonna drown. Kings and queens and those with the crowns. Yeah, we're capsized, we're all gonna drown. Making peace, we're all going down. Alone in the mirror's edges are finite. Alone in the mirror's edges are finite. Alone in the mirror's edges are finite. We're gone with barely a trace. We're gone with barely a trace. This is not abysmal space. This is not abysmal space. We're gone with barely a trace. We're gone with barely a trace.
So that was Capsized by The Keep. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought this was a solid rock song. Kind of, to me, it kind of had the alt rock Foo Fighters vibe, maybe. That was kind of the first
Yeah.
band that came to mind. I don't want to just reduce it to the first thing that popped in my head, but it's about as deep a thinker as I am. It, kind of, had that kind of distorted guitar, 4/4 drums, kind of bass bopping, well-crafted rock song. That was weird, and I dug it.
Did you watch the music video for it by chance?
What? No.
So they have a music video which is just literally continuous shots of actual ships being capsized.
Wow.
So it's just all these huge oil tankers that are being knocked over by waves.
Is it the members in the band capsizing the ships?
Yeah, they're
That would
just
be
that fucking hardcore.
badass.
No, actually, there's this like a little 10 to 15 second clip in the middle of the music video of the band actually playing the song.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just a montage of shots of ships capsizing. It's kind of harrowing.
Yeah.
After a while.
Like, and people maybe died. Probably not.
I don't. There weren't any people in any of the shots.
Okay.
I don't know if there's such thing as like controlled capsizings. Like,
Yeah.
you know how like there's controlled house burnings and
Yeah,
stuff.
what do you do with this ship? Just-
Because like they
Yeah.
were extremely well documented. Like
Yeah.
there's like camera shots from inside the ship.
Oh,
so
yeah. So probably.
Either they
Yeah.
used clever editing to not show people being drowned and like hit with objects, or these were just like ghost ships that were just being knocked over and filled up with water.
I like to think some people died. Personally.
It helps me fall asleep at night if I just imagine people dying.
It just comforts
It makes
me.
the
I don't
music
know.
better.
Hey, don't blame me. Blame the culture I grew up in, all right?
Yeah, and blame whoever let all those ships capsize. So, yeah, this is a good, solid rock song. It was driving. It was emotional. It was catchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did really like the guitar work.
Yeah, me too.
This is probably will just show you how like not musically skilled I am, but the best way I can describe it, there was like a thickness to the guitar sound. Like it
Yeah.
felt heavy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like heavy metal, but there was just like a solid girth to the sound of the guitar.
Yeah. Because it was a little distorted, but it wasn't so much that it was. Yeah, I thought it was a nice kind
And I did like how kind of quiet it got at the end. Like,
Yeah.
where you could really just focus on the vocals.
Yeah.
Like I thought it really kind of added to the emotion of like the lyrics of like
Yeah.
capsized, everybody's gonna drown.
Yeah, the
like,
lyrics were very doom,
fucking
kind of very doom metal, type.
brutal.
yeah. And yeah, I appreciate the tempo changes and yeah, that kind of bridge near the end. I thought that was nice.
All right, so if I were to ask you, what did you imagine the lead singer of this band look like? What would you say? Simply based off the vocal performance.
Pale blue eyes, icy glare. He would give me if we were in a sort of
He's gonna-
late night bar close scenario, and
He's
I was in the way of the door.
He's gonna capsize. He's gonna bust a capsize. No, he has like this huge lumberjack beard, which I
Really?
did not picture at all.
Wow. Yeah. Wouldn't have guessed. I would guess more like kind of Jude Law.
Maybe
See,
under-
Jude Law with the beard.
Maybe underneath the beard.
Yeah, he's got a Jude Law vibe going on. Underneath, as they say, underneath every big beard is a Jude Law.
Underneath the
Huh?
waves of the capsize lies a Jude Law in all of us.
Nice. That's Jude's Law, bro. That's Jude's fucking law.
So, yeah, I thought this was a great straight up rock song. I thought it had emotional vibes to it. But his voice, it didn't have like emo emotion. It was like the lead hero in an action movie, like, let's get our shit together. Let's get off this sinking ship, you know? So, if you enjoyed The Keep, even though they are no longer a band, please check them out on their Bandcamp, thekeepmn.bandcamp.com, or on their Facebook, which is facebook.com/thekeepmn. All right, with that, we can move on to our fourth song, Steel Beam Graveyard by Christoph Bruhn, off his up-and-coming 2016 release, Chandelier.
Oh, wow.
So this isn't out yet. This is an
Was it released as a single or given to you?
It was just given to me
Wow.
because he's my bro.
Damn, man.
No, yeah,
Nice.
this album, I don't know if it's officially released on April 16th, but he will be holding a record release show at the Teatro Zaccone in Duluth, Minnesota on April 16th for this new album, Chandelier.
Nice.
I mean, I guess I will say this kind of was released as a single because this song and one other song on this album have music videos that were posted for it. So yes, I guess it kind of would be a single.
Yeah.
But he did give me access to the whole album to listen to, and it was great.
Nice.
I enjoyed it.
Did he give you exclusive rights? Copyright. You own it.
If I played for anybody else, yeah, I own it. He
You
did
made
give
him
me
sign
the,
that
he gave me the
contract.
master tracks.
Yeah.
He sent me the file for it, and it was fucking huge. Every song was like
Wow.
30 something megabytes.
Holy shit.
It was literally the master
Nice.
recording
Wow.
for this.
Nice.
So Christoph Bruhn is a fingerstyle steel-stringed solo guitarist who is currently based in St. Paul, Minnesota, who was highly inspired by a musician named John Fahey. Am I saying that right?
I honest to God have
Fahey.
I've never heard it out loud.
Fahey.
I've always said John Fahey, but I have no idea if that's right.
Well, it's Fahey, so
Yeah.
Fahey makes sense.
and he's fantastic. Look him up. Great musician. And yeah, this song equally good, I thought.
Yeah, so John Fahey was an American fingerstyle guitarist and composer who played the steel-stringed acoustic guitar as a solo instrument. His style has been greatly influential and has been described as the foundation of American primitive guitar,
Yeah.
a term borrowed from painting and referring mainly to the self-taught nature of the music and its minimalist style. So, American primitive guitar began when John Fahey first composed and recorded avant-garde / neoclassical compositions using traditional country blues finger-picking techniques, which had been previously used primarily to accompany vocals, but this was used in a solo guitar format.
Yep.
And fingerstyle guitar is the technique of playing a guitar by plucking the strings directly with the fingertips, fingernails, or picks attached to the fingers, as opposed to simply like flat picking while
Yeah.
strumming.
Yeah.
So Chris and I were roommates in college. I met him my freshman year of college at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and then we went on to live together for like 4 more years after that.
Wow.
And his guitar work has actually been featured in Shuffle before,
Is that right?
going all the way back to
Nice.
episode 0.5.
Was I there?
You weren't. This was the before the Dummy Jugs days.
Pre-Jugs, man.
This was actually the only other episode to actually contain a song in the episode that I was talking about, which was a song by the black metal band Obsend, which was Chris and I's black metal project when we were in college together. He played all the doomy black metal guitar riffs on that song.
Yeah.
He's one of the most talented guitarists that I've ever known. And I might be getting this wrong, but I believe he told me that actually the reason why he started playing guitar was he received an injury to his finger. He actually cut a decent part of it off. I believe it was
Really?
like a bike chain or something. I'm
Damn.
sorry if I'm getting this wrong. And he was told by his doctor to pick up an instrument like guitar to help rehabilitate just finger movement and motor skills.
Huh.
And he was primarily self-taught all the way up until like his sophomore year of college, and then he started taking lessons through the music department on our campus and went on
Nice.
to just become even more talented than he already was.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's his fault that I have such a deep, sick interest in black metal and Satanism. He got me into it, but I'm
Wow.
guessing he doesn't want that affiliated with his solo guitar music. so,
Six.
you know,
On acoustic
John
guitar.
Fahey probably had that carved into his forehead.
He
So
was
sorry,
actually Marilyn Manson.
sorry, Chris.
Or Charles Manson.
I'm not trying to dilute your professionalism.
We just outed you as a Satanist,
Yeah.
bro.
Straight up,
Good luck.
your record label's gonna drop your ass now.
This is 1950s USA, and we don't like your kind, pal.
Yeah, we don't take kindly to your kind. So Chris is actually part of a record label called Grass Tops Recording. And he actually helps run the label with its founder, Kyle Fosberg. Grass Tops Recording is a record label dedicated to archiving and reissuing music from the past, as well as featuring new artists. they specialize in finding old, rare, out of print albums and making them easily accessible once again.
Nice.
So they're finding all of this old American primitive guitar music that no one's been able to find, getting the master copies of it and re-releasing it. And actually, I was reading on their website. They have a very interesting contract situation set up with their artists where they only retain exclusive ownership over the music for like 2 to 3 years after the release.
Yeah.
And after those 3 years, 100% of the ownership then goes back to the artist. So then they could go on and do whatever else they want with their music.
Wow, that's awesome.
They're very interested in, like, you know, treating the artist well.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So if you're curious about it, I'll post a link to their website. But so, and actually both Chris and Kyle stopped through here in State College about a year ago and played some awesome acoustic-y music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is Steel Beam Graveyard by Christoph Bruhn, which he described the track as dark and oddly structured. So enjoy. All right, so that was Steel Beam Graveyard by Christoph Bruhn. What did you think about it, Dami?
I mean, I love this kind of music, so I really dug this song. I'm a big, I mean, this sounds so phony, Big John Fahey fan. I don't know how to say the name, But I'm a huge fan of his music just through Spotify.
He's a poser.
I really am, because I don't know how to fucking say the name. But I love the kind of finger picking, introspective, but kind of fast folk blues, where it's kind of searching for something. You know what I mean? It's just technically proficient, but it's not just about the virtuosity, if I know the primitivism right, but it's about hitting some kind of just basic kind of feeling, some element. So I dug it. I thought this was, totally proficient guitar player. Yeah, excellently done.
Yeah, I loved how brooding and intense it was.
Yeah.
And it was fast, but it was proficient.
Yeah.
There wasn't
Yeah.
like a wrong note plucked, and if there was, it was the most intentionally done.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything
exactly.
felt right where it belongs.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I don't know anything about American primitive guitar, but this song makes me want to delve into it more
Yeah.
because it was very enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's solid. Very
And it was-
solid song.
It was very much just like an ode to the guitar.
Yeah.
It was just so simple and romantic in some way of like, look at the beautiful things this instrument can do.
Yeah.
And there weren't effects, there weren't vocals. It was literally just the straight up raw guitar
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, I thought it was great. Nice chord changes, tempo changes, new riffs added in, but yeah, it kind of kept that basic kind of elemental guitar feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I dug. I thought, yeah, great song.
And I don't
Great
know if
song.
I've ever said this about a song, but it was so confident.
Yeah.
It was a very
yeah.
like confident and certain sounding song.
Yeah, yeah. Which, like, Leo Kottke, who I don't know if he necessarily is an American primitivist, but he's like steel guitar, finger picking maniac. I wrote that down too because it's a similar vibe where, yeah, it's kind of confident, just finger picking guitar. Yeah, so yeah, great. I thought great song. Great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, workmanlike, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Done.
So if you enjoyed this, you can check out more of the music on Chris's website, christophbruhn.com. And you can also check out his studio's website, grasstopsrecording.com, or their Bandcamp, grasstopsrecording.bandcamp.com, or their SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/grasstopsrecording. And with that, we can move on to our final song of the set, Ambience by Geodesy. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong.
Geodesy.
Geodesy, is that how you'd say?
Geodesy. I'd say Geodesy.
Geodesy.
Yeah.
Geodesy is an experimental ambient electronic musician based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if you aren't familiar, ambient music is a genre of music that puts emphasis on tone and atmosphere over traditional music structure or rhythm. Ambient music is said to evoke an atmospheric, visual, or unobtrusive quality. And according to Brian Eno, one of the pioneers of this genre, he said, and I quote, "Ambient music must be able to accommodate many levels of listening attention without enforcing one in particular. It must be as ignorable as it is interesting," which is like, I fucking love that line.
Nice.
It
That's
must
a good
be as
one.
ignorable as it is interesting.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty.
And if anybody else is curious, geodesy is the scientific discipline that deals with the measurement and representation of the Earth, including its gravitational field in a three-dimensional time-varying space.
But of course.
Duh. So geodesy is the project of a guy named Sam Hagen, someone I met while attending college also in Duluth, Minnesota,
Nice.
which is pretty much everyone else except for the Misanthropes. And he describes his music as audible translations of somnolent subconscious experience.
Nice. Deep.
Yeah. He makes music anywhere from lush, slow-building ambient tracks to highly experimental drone and noise sounds. He gets very experimental sometimes. You'd probably dig it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This track isn't like that, though. So, and he actually just recently, within the past week, I believe, released a collection of his ambient music called A Collection of Ambient Recordings 2011 and 2015.
Nice.
So if you're interested in hearing more like this,
Nice.
I'll post a link on how to get it. And actually, interesting note, this song is featured on this album it's been retitled Ambient 1. And he told me this. It's actually a slowed down version of another song of his. So if you go on his SoundCloud, this song is called Ambience. And he has a song called Ambient 1, which is ambient number 1 with no space in it.
Yeah.
And Ambience is a slowed down version of that song, Ambient 1. And he actually sent me that original sped up version, which, if anyone's interested in hearing it, I was going to play it at the very end of this podcast. So if you want to hear it, just stick around to the end, and if you don't want to hear it, just stop listening or stop talking. So I guess without further ado, here is Ambience / Ambient 1 by Geodesy. All right. So that was Ambience by Geodesy. Geodesy, I feel like I say it different every time. So what did you think?
I liked it. I mean, I love ambient music. I thought it kind of sounded like Arvo Part or Arvo Pärt. I don't know how to say his name, so I sound like the ultimate fraud on this episode. I don't know how to pronounce anyone's name, but he does like a sacred music. That's what he says he does, and this sounded kind of like old school sacred music, like kind of Gregorian chant, that kind of transcendent feeling, which I dug.
Yeah, it had like a sacred religious, like not religious, but it felt like a spiritual experience listening to it. It was soothing, relaxing, slow, rich, atmospheric.
Yeah.
It especially if you listen to it with headphones on, like it feels like you're bathing in sound almost.
Like, and I like how the kind of synth sound at times, which I think is like the sign of good ambient music. At any point in the song, something could kind of sound a little different than it did earlier, because at times that kind of synth sounded like just like a clear note, and then like a screech, and then almost like kind of vocals. I thought that was nice. It was nice.
It's kind of like this ever-evolving kind of organic mass of noise, which is enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you define what a song is.
Yeah.
But like, you know, this is one of those things that like, it's the fuck am I trying to say? It's just it's so slowly progressing and kind of grand in its scope, where it's like every part sounds different, but you barely notice it changing as it goes on almost.
Yeah. I mean, the only, kind of critique I have is that it was too short. I thought this could have been like 10 to 15 minutes long, drug out, and which is ultimately a compliment. I wanted more. I thought this could have been like a 15-minute slow burn where you really just see, the flower bloom, or whatever you want to say.
Well, if you want more, not only is there an album of songs like this, but it also features some like 15-minute long tracks. Nice. So I'll post a link to it. I highly recommend it. Check out his Bandcamp, a collection of ambient recordings 2011 to 2015.
Yeah, right on.
Which is at geodesy.bandcamp.com. You can also check out his non-ambient tracks, which get very experimental and noisy, at his SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/geodesy. And also, if you go on his Instagram, he has quite the collection of like modular instruments and noisemakers. I honestly don't know what any of them do. Yeah. But they're very interesting to look at, and he has some videos of like him programming these songs on them. Nice. So if you're interested in seeing weird analog modular synths and Moogs and whatever gizmos, you can check out his Instagram, which is instagram.com/Geodesy synthesis, and like it's like a combination of the two words, like Geodesy synthesis.
Okay, yeah.
GEODESYNTHESIS.
Nice.
Yeah. So, any final parting thoughts or?
No. Yeah. I mean, I thought all solid tracks. You are surrounded by amazing musicians, Jared.
I know.
You were embedded in the ultimate artistic culture.
I'm great.
God. Damn.
I know. I'm great.
Dude, what about my friends, man? Shit. I don't have any. I'm a misanthrope.
Fuck them.
Fuck people.
No, if you got musicians, you can fuck people.
Fuck people, man.
All right. So, like I said, if you are a musician and would like your music featured on Volume 2 of this type of episode, please send me your music. And also, if you want to submit tracks for us to talk about outside of your own music, you can also send that to us as well. You can send it to us at facebook.com/shuffle. I should say shuffle spelt with a 5. You probably know that. Facebook.com/5howcase. Follow us on Twitter. Message us at Shuffle Podcast. Tumblr, shufflepodcast.tumblr.com. Or you could do the classic email, shufflecastpod@gmail.com. Also, please listen to another podcast that I'm on. If you're ever curious about listening to me talk about video games with my friends, check out the Game Cave podcast, hosted by my friend John Miller at soundcloud.com/thegamecavepodcast. Other than Wings, is there anything you want to plug, Dominic?
Look for, I got some music coming out. Look for that.
He does have a SoundCloud now.
I can't, but yeah, look for my SoundCloud, www.soundcloud.djjugs, DJ Jug Harmony, and the Music Machine Kids.com.
The Music Machine Kids.
That's me. All right.
I'm sure you'll have a book at some point.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you could plug.
Oh yeah.
All about Insane Clown Posse, I'm sure.
DJ Jug meets the Clown Posse.
All right. So thank you for listening. I hope you all have a good week and look forward to next week for episode 15. Bye.
Peace.